Now you know my government name, and I should have put an index in. I didn't. Does that not make you so incredibly happy? Hi, and welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Nanika, and today we're going to be doing something very, very exciting. This is my reading journal for 2026. It is a B5 notebook dot grid from Neora. I'll have it linked down below in the description. I just got it off of Amazon. I don't know the specific details. I think it's 110 GSM paper, but it's bigger than what I usually work in. For reference, this is my bullet journal. This is an A5, also from Neora. You can sort of tell the size difference there. Today, I thought it would just be really fun if I did a little flip through of what all is in my reading journal so far, because it's the start of March and I'm actually very proud of what I have done in here, and I just wanted to share it with you guys. So, as always, please make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another upload. Comment down below if you're keeping a reading journal this year or if you want other reading journal content from me, because I will be very happy to share that with you guys. Without further ado, let's jump into the top down view. Welcome to my desk. So, as I mentioned earlier, this is a B5 dot notebook from Neora. Again, I'll link it in the description. It is bigger than I'm normally used to working with. Like, this is my bullet journal. This is an A5, and I normally stick to this, but I thought, let's have some fun. Without further ado, let's just get into the flip through. So, starting very simple with the nameplate page, it just says this journal belongs to Nanika Vora. Now you know my government name. It's okay. And then we open up to this gorgeous cover page. Now the theme that I chose was sort of like a pegboard, and I just chose it because it's a theme that I'm familiar with and that I really love doing. Like, it's just one of my favorite themes. And also, they match. So my bullet journal and my reading journal match themes, and I just love that it's cohesive. Over here, it's just a very simple, it just says reading journal, and it says reader, noun, a person who reads something. And then over here is like my yearly stats, which I will fill in after this journal is complete. So it just has number of books read, pages read, hours listened, authors, average rating, number of 5 stars, and my top genre. Flipping over, we have my year in pixels, which I was not consistent with last month at all, and my 26 and 26, which I have not filled out completely. But yeah, the idea with the year in pixels is just it tracks how many pages I've read per day. So as you can see, these, like this strike, I don't know, this like lines, these blue lines mean I've read 0 to 100 pages. Just leaving it blank means I haven't read anything. The green is 100 to 200 pages, and this blue is 200 plus. And then over here, my 26 and 26 is exactly what it sounds like. It's just a list of 26 books that I would like to get done in 2026. I've only listed 6 books, and I've read 2 of them. So, moving on to 2 of my favorite spreads. We have the Book of the Month spread and the Goodreads challenge. Now, I do have to print out a cover for my Book of the Month. I haven't done that yet, but my Book of the Month was Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. I am rereading Throne of Glass. My Book of the Month for January was Alchemized by Senden Yu. Genuinely just such an incredible book. So good. My Goodreads challenge is 100 books, and I am actually behind on that, and it's really scary that I'm behind on it, but we'll make it work. So basically, this is 5 shelves of 20 books each, so there are 100 books, and I just colored in a book every time I finish one. So this blue is for ebooks and this green is for physical books. And I haven't read an audiobook yet this year, but I'm planning on doing a lighter blue for audiobooks. Then we flip over to the upcoming releases calendar, and this is basically utilizing the future log spread from the bullet journal system, where it is just an overview of the 12 months of the year, but instead of events, it is upcoming releases. So for example, on the 29th of January, we had Within Range by Ruth Stilling. On the 28th of July, we have Daybreak by Autumn Woods. Unrivaled, September 29th. I'm so excited for that. Flipping over, I don't remember who inspired this spread. If I can remember while I'm editing this video, I will put their up on the screen. But essentially, these are these calendars that basically show when I read what. It's kind of confusing, but let me explain. So for example, if you look at the month of January, which is this one right here, you can see that this big blue bar that goes from here to here is when I read The Secret History. So it just gives me an idea of when in the month I was reading what. And I used to track this on Notion, and I would basically just input the dates, and then Notion on the calendar view would do it for me. But I thought of having it as a spread in my journal, and here it is. We have January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, and September, October, November, December. So this spread actually takes up 3 separate spreads. Flipping over, this is my A to Z challenge as well as my tropes bingo. Well, it's not fully tropes, like there's a couple of random things first in, but book bingo. So the A to Z challenge is fairly common. Actually, I've seen a lot of people do it, but basically a lot of people do it with either books, the book titles, or the author names. I'm doing it with the book titles. So you try to read a book whose title starts with every letter of the alphabet. At the end of the year, I will just calculate how many I've finished and put them in this box over here. Bingo is, it's a 5x5 grid, and it's just tropes or scenarios or just random things that I wanted to include. And I only have one book per space. So for example, Alchemized was more than 1,000 pages, a debut novel, a new author, and it made me cry, but I picked it only for more than 1,000 pages. Then we have my series tracker. This is, I think, one of the few spreads where it's just very fluid, it's not rigid. It's just like 2 of these boxes in the middle of the page, and I can just write the name of the series and then do boxes for however many books there are. These are all the series that I am currently in the middle of that I want to finish this year. Now we have flipped over to January. This is not my favorite cover page. Like I mentioned earlier, my reading journal and my bullet journal actually match, so the themes for each month match as well. And I'm just gonna find January's cover page. This is the iteration of the cover page that I like more, but everybody who I say this to tell me they like this version more. I don't see it, guys. I like this so much better. This was very unplanned, haphazard. I have a quote here on the left-hand side of the page. It says, "Until Midnight." This is from Nightshade, which was one of my favorite books of last year. And I've continued to add a quote onto the left-hand side of the page, but what I've done is I've made it my favorite book of the last month. Flipping over, here we have book reviews. I'm not going to dwell on these because they do contain spoilers, but it's just title, author, rating, cover, and then my thoughts. Now, my one thing to add about my journal is that it is not in chronological order at all. The only thing chronological are the book reviews. I do have a tendency to make random spreads in the middle, so it's very haphazard, and I should have put an index in. I didn't, because I had an index in my last journal and I didn't use it because in that journal everything was in chronological order, but I'm going with the flow. This is a books read log. It is exactly what it sounds like. I just have the book and the rating, and I currently have 2 of these, but I think I might need to set up another one. Currently though, this is fine. This is my January stats page. It's basically just a compilation of statistics of the star ratings, the genres that I read, the formats that I read, and then just like some fun stats. So these are all the books that I read listed out. This was my average rating. It was 3.69 stars. I read 4,078 total pages. My favorite read was Alchemize, and my least favorite was The Secret History. My top genre was contemporary romance, and my goal progress was 8%, with my average book length being 478. And I'm actually really very proud of this spread. Turning the page, we have 2 spreads that were just sort of haphazardly thought of and thrown together. This is my 5-star / Hall of Fame. I know a lot of people do this with book covers, and I'm planning to do a Hall of Fame type spread near the end when I finish the year, so I know how many book covers I have and need. But currently it's just a list, and there's only 2 on that list, which are Alchemized and Queen of Shadows. And this is our hockey romance tracker. Now, if you know me, if you've watched any of my videos, you know that I love hockey romance. I love hockey romance to the point where there was a month last year where I only read hockey romance. And I just wanted to see, like, I thought it would be fun to see like how many hockey romance books I end up reading this year. So as of now, that's just 2, Rival and Grumpy Darling, but we'll see how this spread fills out. Now, moving on to Feb. Again, I don't like this cover page. I will show you my bullet journal cover page. This is my bullet journal cover page. The theme was flowers, these pink flowers. I think this theme was very heavily inspired by, I can't remember their name, Bread and Jam, Butter and Jam, I think. I'll put that ad up on screen, but I sometimes have like difficulty coming up with bullet journal themes because I've been doing this for about 6 years now, and I just like brain fart on themes. We're in Feb. The quote for Feb is, "You could rattle the stars if only you dared," which is a quote from Throne of Glass, which was one of my favorite books that I read in Jan. I only have 1 page of reviews in here because I only read 4 books in Feb, and as you can see, I haven't stuck in the book covers here. I have the book cover for Crown of Midnight, but I don't have it for these 3. And then moving on, we have my stats page for Feb, which is structured exactly the same as my stats page for January, but the color scheme is different because obviously this is like a floral blue, pink and green theme. So it's exactly the same. Books read, my average rating was 4.25 stars. I read 2,060 pages. My favorite was Queen of Shadows. My least favorite was Crown of Midnight. My top genre was epic fantasy. My goal progress is 12%, and my average book length was 515 pages. These 2 graphs were so easy to make because I only read fantasy and I only read physical books. So it was just a block of color. So now we're gonna move on to March, which actually I think is going to be my favorite theme of the year, just purely because it is blue. It's blue, like, come on. It perfectly matches my bullet journal. Like, just look at that. Does that not make you so incredibly happy? It's blue because, I don't know if you could tell, but my favorite color is blue. And my birthday is in March, right? My birthday is the 24th of March, and the letters are birthday balloons because it's my birthday. Now, the quote here is from Air of Fire, and it says, "You cannot pick and choose which parts of her to love," which is something that Dorian tells Keol. And I just think that quote is so beautiful. Like, it just, I think of it a lot, and I love it so much. I don't really have anything past here. I just have spots, book review spots marked out for Empire Storms and Tower of Dawn, which I'm currently tandem reading them, as well as Kingdom of Ash, and I don't really know what I'm gonna read after Throne of Glass is done. But yeah, that's it for my reading journal. I am very proud of what I've accomplished in here, mostly because for the last 3 years I haven't gotten past February in any of my journals. I've just been in such a slump, but I am just very excited to continue working in this journal, and I'm very excited that you get to be a part of my journal journey. We should start a series. We should start a journal journey series. Oh my god. But that's it from me in the top-down view. Thank you so much. Thank you so much if you stuck around to watch till the end, if you made it to this part of the video. I'm so grateful that you just stuck around to watch me yap about my silly little reading journal for a while. And yeah, please don't forget to consider subscribing, leave a like on this video, and comment down below if you want more reading journal content from me. I will see you next time.